One final step. As I calm down, I think about this final steps more clearly. I suddenly realize that there may have been a huge flaw in my plan that I haven't accounted for at all. The whole plan was originally designed to kill the past version of Araka, not Aiden. It goes without saying that Darren would be able to kill Araka's copy without any hint of hesitation, but does the same apply for Aiden? Taking a look at Darren now, it is clear that he understands his role in the plan and knows the gravity of the situation, but even so, he is still staring at the block of ice with the sword in his hand, unable to act. I think I know exactly what must be going through his head at the moment. The entire fight, Darren has been focusing on stabbing Aiden once with his enchanted sword so that he could cut off his connection with the magical plane, making him essentially powerless without actually killing him. Now he has in front of him a large block of ice of unknown durability, which he needs to cut through in order to get to Aiden. If he were to use his full strength, he could easily cut Aiden in half along with the ice and kill him on the spot. But if he were to want to only slightly stab him in order to cut off his source of energy, he would need surgical precision. He can't afford to cut through the ice once more than what? The ice more than once, because he would risk allowing Aiden to free himself, but he only has one shot at this. But is it something that he can realistically accomplish without risking all of our lives in the process? Darren, Flower asks in a worried tone, after he sees him staring at the block of ice in front of him for more than 5 seconds while heavily sweating. Is everything okay? What are you hesitating for, you imbecile? Do you really think he would have shown you any mercy if your positions were reversed? We have the opportunity of a lifetime to kill Aiden once and for all, and you're hesitating. Hurry up and do it already before he too late. We hear Aiden's voice as the block of ice surrounding him explodes 2 pieces, and the amount of magical power radiating from his aura just as high as it was when he was facing Tyrath in Thelius. Oh no, it's over. We really are too late. Maybe I've been messing around a little too much, Aiden says in a very serious tone of voice, as the intensity of his aura alone is making it hardest to breathe. It's time to end this. Should we taunt him? Might as well before we die, eh? End this. I say, no, I'm very serious. You would have ended this long ago if you could. This intimidation act of yours isn't fooling anyone. Without even trying to engage in conversation, Aiden points his hand towards me from afar. I can feel my head exploding into 1,000 pieces, killing me instantly. The same description. Come on, change the description a little bit. Stay silent. Leo, you might want to stand back a little, Aiden tells the leopard, who was still watching the fight unfold from the side. From this moment onwards, I can't guarantee your safety. Yes, Leo says that he takes one last hesitant look at us before he turns away. I think I'll do that. Now then, Aiden says, as the leopard is moving a little further from us. Where it's safer? Who wants to go first? Ha! Rick says with a grin. Now that this is the kind of fight that I joined this tournament for. I think the only way to survive at this point is to take Araka out. I think we should combine with her. She could possibly, I mean, then again, we are not proper mates, so she won't be able to fight properly now that I think about it, so that's not gonna be worth it. Oh boy, I don't know what else can be done. Now this is the kind of fight I joined this tournament for. He then dashes towards Aiden and attempts to punch him, but the Stillwater calmly grabs his head and smashes it into the ground, causing him to immediately lose his consciousness. Darren does not wait for an invitation from Aiden. He sends his sword spinning towards him fast, just like he did all the other times before. Instead of bothering to dodge it, however, Aiden blasts the sword with a beam of fire so strong that it goes over its capacity to absorb elements, pushes it back towards his owner. In order to defend himself from the incoming fire beam, Darren puts his shield in front of him, but his barrier is nowhere near powerful enough to defend him from the full force of the attack, and he ends up moving to the ground, barely able to move, with his clothes half burned and his sword and shield lying uselessly beside him. No, Flower shouts with desperation. Wait, what happened? Oh, he's half burned, he didn't die. No, Flower shouts. He's still not killing anyone, so I'm guessing he's still looking for something. With desperation in her voice, as her eyes turn bright red and the aura around her body is now visibly burning. Leave them alone. He won't kill her because he made a bet with the thing. What is it called? The fox. The promise with the fox. She then shoots a fire beam at Aiden, which is almost comparable to the one that just used against Darren. However, unlike Darren, Aiden seems to actually be able to defend against such an attack, even though he does seem to be expending at least a moderate amount of effort to do it. Flower, burning through your energy too fast, Luna says in a panicked tone. You have to stop. I can't, Flower says. I'm our last chance. I have to do this. I have to Suddenly, Aiden teleports behind her and he hits the back of her neck slightly with the side of his palm. This causes both Flower and Luna to lose consciousness. As the only members of our group still awake are now Kate, Darren, and Araka. Kate is now attempting to create some icicles with a scepter, but her drained magical energy was completely but her magical energy was completely drained by her ice beam from before. She's barely even able to stand up in the meantime. Darren uses all his strength to push himself from the ground so that he can at least look Aiden in the eye when he talks to him. Damn it, Aiden, Darren shouts. I know this isn't the real you. I know this isn't what you want, so why? Why are you doing this? Even when I'm seconds away from killing you all and all your friends, you are still saying things like this, Aiden says as he is now slowly approaching Darren. And if I understood correctly, you were also telling Barry yesterday that you would be hesitant to join Meredith and kill me. Tell me, how exactly is it possible that someone like you could have undergone such a radical change of perspective in such a short amount of time? Are you not still the same person who used to blindly attack me with every chance you get because you were considering me to be irredeemably evil? Where is this sudden change of attitude coming from? Surely it can't be just because of a past version of myself from the God of Trials helped you out once. It's because you asked me to prove you wrong, Darren says loudly as Aiden's closed eyes seem to flinch a little. I know that you don't remember any of it. It wasn't some distant version from the past that I talked to. It was you back in Thelius, right before the Earl of Olinder was going to kill the slave girl. I got down on my hands and knees and begged you to give me the power to save her. That's why you helped me, and that's why you told me those words. So that is what happened, Aiden says, as he seems to now quickly be putting everything together in his mind. I know that you never actually said those words to me in this world, Aiden says, but if you were capable of saying them in that situation, then I know that deep down, this is what you really want. You want someone to prove to you that you were wrong to abandon humanity, and that there is still some hope left. Let us help you. I know that in this, it may seem like a long shot to you at the moment. You probably think that you are wasting your time by letting us live, but at least give us a chance. You know that we can make a difference. I'm afraid that it's a little too late for that, Darren, Aiden says in a grim tone. But why? Darren says, why should it be late? Why would it be late? Because the blue crystals have awakened, Aiden says. What? Darren says, looking like he was caught completely off guard by that answer. What does this have to do with any... Do you seriously think that your little quest to save a few cities from an island in the middle of nowhere is the only thing on my mind? Aiden says. There are far more important things at stake here than Varathia. If Meredith gets what she wants, whether she realizes it or not, it will be the end of us all, not only in this world, but likely others as well. Whoa, slow down, Aiden says. We didn't know any of that. Is it because one of the Magium fragments? Look, if you just told us what this is all about, we could... No, Aiden says simply. I can't be bothered to tell you the myriad of reasons why Diane needs to die. Even if I did, you would still not accept it. You've had your chance to help me, but you have failed now. You must face the consequences. Aiden, Araka shouts all of a sudden in a more furious tone than we have ever heard her speak in before. If you kill any of them, I promise you that I will spend the rest of my life traveling the infinite space of the ether until I find your sanctuary. Then I will rip your soul out of it with my bare hands and torture it for all eternity. Do you understand me? I'm going to make your life a literal hell. What in the world has gotten into you? Aiden says, looking very confused. I'm not going to kill Flower. Is that what you're worried about? I'm still keeping my promise to that old fox for the time being at least. Did you start closing your ears along with your eyes? Araka says. I said that if you kill any of them, I'm going to make you regret it for as long as you're alive. Do you have any idea how much work I put into this plan? It's the first time I felt so alive in 5,000 years, and now you want to take that away from me? To take my perfect revenge against the gods away from me? You have no idea to what length I'm willing to go to make your life miserable if you go through with that. Hold on there, Aiden says. For a second it almost sounded like you were saying that you have been training these people to kill the gods in your place. That clearly is not what you meant. It is exactly what I meant, you pompous cretin, Araka shouts. No, Aiden says as he just spends a few seconds in silence, looking as if he couldn't believe what he was wearing. No, it can't be. He then pauses for a few more seconds, still unable to come up with a coherent sentence to respond to Araka. You're training them to kill gods? Aiden says, as he finally seems to be finding his words. These clowns, you want them to kill gods? He then stays silent again for a while. This is the first time he's actually mocked any of us, as if he was hoping for Aragorn to tell him that it was all a joke and she wasn't being serious. Look at them, Hidden says as he points towards us. I could kill them all with a flick of my finger if I wanted to.